Alright guys, I'm back here and today's date is March 16th. So I know this works past the release of Dawn Ragnarok, and the unlimited resource glitch with the Divine Gear still works. And even better, now I'm not sure about Xbox, but I assume it's the same. You can now do it solely on you can do it on your PS5. You don't need to worry about doing it on your PS4 and then moving the save over. You can do it right on your PS5. I assume that's same for Xbox, but I have no way of testing that, so don't take my word for it. But I don't see why it would be any different. And there is some new parts to this glitch that I don't know if at all they were working before, but I know that it works now, so it's even better. So I'm going to show you guys this, and I'm going to show you how it's a little different. So it's still the same. So you load up your PS5, right? And you go. And as you know, if you were doing this before or you played the game at the release of Dawn of Ragnarok, that some of your gear was upgraded free of charge to Divine. Now, I don't know if for everybody that's just store-bought gear or gear from Retta. I don't know. But to do this glitch, it does seem that to keep redoing it, because you can upgrade your gear to Divine, and then you can downgrade it. But the only way to really do this to make it beneficial is to use either stuff you bought from the store, gear you bought from the store, or gear you bought from Retta, which I mean is the same. So what I recommend is that if you don't have any gear you've bought from Retta shop or the store, I would use some of your Opal to get that gear. It doesn't matter, obviously with the release of Dawn of Ragnarok, it's going to come Divine, but you can still downgrade it. So, and to test this, I have equipped all random gear because this is this gear that came from the shop buying it from Retta. So what I would do if you're not sure is that you can always pause your game and then go over to the store, and you in the top right there you can see owned. Now this is what I did, so I know this works. And then you can just scroll through all the different pieces of gear you own. And anything you see here, you can do this with. You can downgrade it, and then I know some people say, quit the main menu, but again, in my experience, you can just save your game and then reload that save, and you'll be completely fine. It'll re-upgrade it to Divine, and then you can just keep doing that for unlimited resources and unlimited what is it, platinum ingots. So that's a little different now. And since Dawn of Ragnarok released, we can now see the amount of platinum ingots we have in our inventory. So now that's a little different. Before you couldn't tell that you had any or if they were saving, and now they do. So that's one part that's a little different. But anyways, you go through here, you scroll through, see what gear you have, and equip a piece in each thing. Now, obviously, when you go over here to Gunner or any blacksmith, but go over here, and obviously, when you, because I don't know this for sure. I'm assuming you get no access to Divine Gear if you haven't bought Dawn of Ragnarok, but I haven't seen no patch. There's no patch or nothing. So if the gear that was accidentally released and upgraded for free before the expansion released, if you did it with that gear, I'm assuming it would still work even if you don't own the expansion. But are you able to upgrade more gear? If you don't have it, I don't know. I don't know how that would work, but I really don't have a way to test that. So obviously you can go here to any blacksmith, but I'm using Gunner in the settlement because that's just the easiest and simplest example. Then you go to downgrade gear. Now obviously you could use, like I said, any gear, but only store-bought or items from Retta are gonna re-upgrade themselves to Divine and allow you to keep downgrading them. Now obviously you don't have to just use the stuff that's equipped. You know, if you could use anything that's a store-bought item through your inventory, and maybe you can remember every single item that you have equipped. I just find it easier to equip it because it's right at the top. You don't have to scroll through, and every time you downgrade something, it's going to bring you back to the top of the menu. So if you're doing multiple things, it's going to keep forcing you at the top of the menu. You got to scroll down. So I just find it easier to equip what you're going to downgrade. Okay, and now I'll prove it to you that it works. Well, actually, uh, was there was the version updated when when the expansion came? I assume it was. I don't know. I don't know if that's enough. Okay. Yes, I'll show you this works. Okay, so like I said, I got my stuff here. As you can see, now we're gonna get uh all this material for upgrades, so unlimited materials and platinum ingots. Also, I do want to mention, I almost forgot, is that I did notice. Now, I said I don't. Like I said before, I don't know if this was working before, but if you scroll over items, like I just had some. What was it? Okay, like this, where it says regained items, and there's nothing there. As long as a store bought item or item from Retta, I cannot say this works on regular gear earned through the game. I cannot guarantee and say that. But as long as it is store bought items or items from Retta, if you take these pieces of gear now and you downgrade them, they will also re-upgrade to Divine. But since whatever happened when the expansion released, then they will offer you materials. So I have no way of proving this, but before my Shadow Strike bow and this sword and this dagger, they would say they would have be completed blank on regained items. So I tried it. I downgraded it, and then when I reloaded my save, I can downgrade again, and I will get all of these resources. So whatever was going on before that would just stay blank, now you can also use. So yes, anything that is a store-bought item or Reddit item, you can use, no matter if it's a blank space or not. Because when you downgrade it at least the first time, and it re-upgrades itself, it's going to be available to downgrade for resources. Okay, so I'm talking so much I'm forgetting all my steps. Okay, so you can see my inventory and you can see how much resources I have, the leather and the iron ore. So we are going to go in here. We are going to downgrade all this stuff. And it's fine. For whatever reason, whenever you downgrade it, it seems to disappear from what's equipped. I don't know why that does that, but it's no problem. So don't be worried about that. You're not losing anything. Okay, as you see, we're getting all those resources. So it's a great way to do this. And like I said, the platinum ingots. So it's a great way to get your resources for upgrading your gear. Because if you are upgrading anything to Divine, you know it costs a lot more to upgrade the Divine gear, the last 3 upgrades, to get fully upgraded than it does for when it's mythical. So you need a lot of research, and that would be a lot of grinding, which is very upsetting for people that have spent hours upon hours grinding before the expansion, and now you got to do it again. So this is a great way. Okay, so you can see how much resource I've gained. Now I know most people say go to quit to make title screen, and then we look. Again, I find that's not necessary. Not necessary at all. I have found no problem doing it tons of times, just making save. Now you don't have to make multiple saves. I just made multiple saves to test this, just in case it didn't work, but it still works. As you see, I saved. Now I will reload it. I will show you my inventory, and I will show you that I can downgrade those items again, and they will be re-upgraded to Divine.
The gods are smiling on us today, Eivor.
Okay, as you can see,
That one's
all my gear is re-upgraded to divine. Obviously, I can downgrade it again for gear again and platinum ingots. As you could see before, I had less platinum ingots, now I have 5. Check my inventory. As you can see, I still have the resources. Now, I also want to add, and I have not done much testing with this, but I have with the Spartan bow. So I can confirm, at least with the Spartan bow, which I think which if I remember correctly, was a weekly reward for one of the challenges before you could buy it in the Ubisoft shop. So pretty much, yeah, a weekly rewards like anything like that we've gotten gear or weapons will also work for this. In case anybody was wondering, in case there's anybody wondering. So again, maybe you've bought nothing, maybe you haven't spent your opal, but you've done the weekly challenges. Oh, you got the Spartan bow or one of the other bows. Now you can use that. You're not, and then from there you can downgrade it, get your platinum units, you know, upgrade other gear. It might be a slower process, but it'll still work for you. So there's really no reason no one can do this. Now, again, I haven't tested this, but I assume it still works on PS4 just fine. I'm assuming it works on Xbox just perfectly fine for both current and old gen. And I would highly recommend you do this because no one out here has time to be grinding for these resources and all that. Uh, Now, I will say I would recommend you do this, and no one has time for resources. But I have been playing Dawn of Ragnarok because I did get the expansion, and you do get a lot of resources in there. You do, but it's not nearly enough to even upgrade any one of your categories of gear all the way, all pieces. No way, never. You would have to do endless grinding, and no one has time for that. So again, I've shown you proof that this works. I've shown you proof that it'll work for a while until they either fix it, which hits Ubisoft, so they probably won't. Now, if you want any better or shorter explanation, I would recommend you go over to Darkstrider's channel. He has a bunch of guides, and he explains this even better than I do and goes into more detail. So you can go check out his latest video and his content for more concise and information on the daily. And that's all I got for you guys today.